I've recently acquired a bunch of locomotives in rolling stock and operating accessories. So we're going to start out today with some of the rolling stock and locomotives, primarily locomotives. We're going to see if they run before we do anything else. Coming up pretty soon in these future videos, I've got a lot of Tyco operating accessories that I'm going to pull out, and we're going to set those up and see if they'll work. Some of them are brand new, so this sounds like this one already works. This is a Bachmann GP9, and it is a DCC sound locomotive. Let's see, bell, long horn, short horn, reverse. I don't know if you can hear it revving up. So that sounds like a pretty good locomotive. The windows on these are a little screwed up. I can see somebody's done something to them. This one's loose, so it's flopping in and out, and this one is bulging outward. So I don't know what happened to it, and it came to me lightly weathered. Somebody did a amateur job weathering it, but good locomotive. I'm pretty happy with this one. These are going to be a surprise to me as I pull them out of the box. I mean, I know what I have, but I don't remember what order they are. So here is a Bachmann Maine Central Spectrum 44 tonner. So we know this one is not DCC, so that's not going to do anything on DCC, but we'll put that on analog. So that's a good one. 44 tonner with easy mate couplers on it. Both of these have easy mate couplers. If they don't have knuckle couplers on them, I'm going to be adding them. And this is in a Tyco box, but this is a Walther's Lifelike Proto 2000 BL2, and it's a Boston and Maine. It's a really pretty locomotive. It's got a lot of separately applied pieces and parts on it. And I don't think this is going to be DCC. Seems to go backwards, but forwards, not so much. It's a really pretty locomotive. I'm not sure what's going on here. So that one will need a little bit further inspection, but it's a really pretty train. BL2. Bangor and Aroostook here in Maine had some of those. There's one on display still up at the Transportation Museum in Bangor. They built the museum around the locomotive. They put the tracks in with the locomotive and a couple of cars and a caboose, and then built the building around it. This is an Atlas Classic RS3 Boston and Maine locomotive. Very well packed. A huge fan of Atlas locomotives. Growing up, I mostly had Bachmann, Tyco, AHM, and sometimes Model Power, but when I finally, my family realized I was into it, they bought me an Athearn locomotive, which I still have. So I was probably about 13 when I got my first good locomotive, but this is really smooth. Smooth running train. And that's what I would expect from an Athearn. And it works really well. Hear how smooth that is? What a beautiful train. I don't see any lights on it. So the lights don't work, but it's very smooth running. Same paint scheme as that BL2. RS3, Atlas, DCC. It doesn't say anywhere on it that it's DCC, so it's just a hunch. Next up we have an Atlas. Looks like an S4. So it's like Alco. I think Alco made the S4s. It's in there pretty tight. Boston and Maine color, it matches that 44 tonner. This is a beautiful train too. Switch engine. Really nicely detailed. And I'm gonna guess this is not DCC. You can see lights. Switch it over analog and it's working. Also very smooth. It's exactly what I would expect from an Atlas. It's just so precise. Very nicely built. So I see forward lighting. I don't see any reverse lighting on it, so if this was wired up, it's not working. I got some KDs, some whisker couplers and coupler boxes, so all the stuff that I have that doesn't have modern or knuckle couplers on it, we'll be adding those. Here we've got a Boston and Maine 280 Consolidation. This one's built by IHC, and pardon me if I'm wrong, but I think IHC at some point got the patents to some Tyco buildings, locomotives, which also may or may not be the same as, I think, some of the AHM stuff as well. Very smooth. I think IHC made some nice stuff, but a very smooth running Consolidation. The problem with these is that the tender, which is, it's a good thing that it has tender electronic pick or electric pickup, but the little tiny thin wires that run to a little microscopic plug on the locomotive, very susceptible to breakage, and there's no a permanent connection between the tender and the locomotive. It's just a basically a peg down through with this little loopy thing that hooks onto it. So then you just got the wires, and it can be broken very quickly, very easily. So I don't recommend this for children. This right here is not an eBay haul. This is my original 1979 locomotive that I got. I remember I got it one Christmas, and with probably about 5 cars, but I haven't run it in quite a while. So we're gonna put this on and see if it works. This is a U18B. Probably just needs a little clean. Or a lot of times these locomotives, if they've been sitting for a long time, they just take a while to get going again. If I run into some that seem to have any kind of issues, that's when I start taking them apart and cleaning them, but doesn't like the crossing here. Probably just not heavy enough. So this one here is only 4-wheel drive. So let's see if it's even got pickup on all the wheels. Yep. It's got pickup there. Does it have pickup here? Nope. So it picks up on the truck, this one truck here that doesn't have power, and then these are the drive wheels, so you've only got pickup on 4 instead of 8. And these were a very cheap entry-level locomotive. You'll find a lot of these for sale on eBay pretty inexpensively, but it's still in really nice looking shape. It has the horn hook couplers on it. So it's a nice little locomotive. I probably won't use it a whole lot just because I've had it since 1979, but nice to know that it still works. A Boston and Maine 260 mogul. It looks like it's got an oil tender on it. So this one is connected with a screw. So it does have tender pickup, but they've got it tethered together with a screw this time, so it's not going to fall apart. I can already hear it wants to go. Moguls were pretty common up here in Maine. So it doesn't have pickup on the pilot, but it's got pickup on the drivers. Does it have pickup on the tender? Yep. So this is a very good locomotive because it's got pickup on 11 different sets of wheels. So the box on this one's seen better days, but that locomotive works really well. An F40, I think it's an F40 PH or an F40H. Spectrum, Amtrak. That's a nice locomotive too. So that strobe is migraine inducing. I might have to do something about that. Maybe at least black out some of it. That's going to give me migraines. So that's a really nice engine. Works really well. Clean that up, see if the pickup works on it. Yep. And this is a Trix HO wheel cleaner. That works really nice. Some of them. So it looks like we've got another Boston and Maine mogul. Same as before, but with a better box. The boiler front wants to come unhooked, so I'll have to put some super glue on there, I think. So oil tender, same road number. So if I want to continue using this, I'll have to change road numbers. And I can see one of the grab irons here is fallen out. So that runs really well. It looks clean. Surprising. And I don't think IHC is in business anymore. But IHC did make some nice locomotives. I don't know about their diesels, but I have 3 of their steamers, and they all seem to run pretty well. So that's it for today. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up some of these Tyco operating accessories. So stick around. I appreciate you watching, and I'll talk to you next time.